we got candles getting above the 200. But you mainly want to see it when a trend is reversing from a downtrend. You want to see the 12 EMA get fully above and hold above the 200, right? So just like right here, you see how once the 12 got over the 200 and got a little height above it, you see how that was a sustainable uptrend shift, right? And so that's what we look for with these two moving averages. We want to make sure that we're using the 200 to show us the overall trend and the 12 EMA to show us the short term trend. The third moving average that we have on the chart is the Wolftrend Moving Average. Okay. And that's this green line right here. So this moving average is a faster moving average. I created this moving average, or I coded it, so it's only on the Wolf chart. But I built this moving average to work in partnership. It works with the 12 EMA, but it mainly works with our smart money buy zones and sell zones. So if we turn these on the SPY, I'm gonna show you how this moving average operates and what its true purpose is. So this moving average is quicker than any traditional moving average, and it's more intelligent than regular moving averages. So the reason why I say it's more intelligent is because the code that I put in it allows it to know where smart money investors, when they come in with high volume, it rushes down to where the buy zone is and then confirms the early entry. So whether we're under the 200 or above it, it'll still give you that early reversal signal whether the stock is going to pull back or whether it's going to go up. And so if you look at it on, so we look at Tesla, for example, I think I traded Tesla and we got a decent reversal on them uh, from the supply zone. But you see how when Tesla was in this strong uptrend, once the candles open and close under this green moving average, so this red one, so this green moving average is the Wolf Trend moving average. So you'll see me call it the Wolf Trend moving average, the WTMA, which stands for Wolf Trend moving average. But the reason I built this moving average initially, when I first built it, it didn't have this red line attached to it. So the moving average actually is two lines. Okay. So the moving average is this green line here, and it makes this is it moves very smooth, but it makes like this arcing shape. So that's why I named the confirmation the arc confirmation, and for calls I named it the inverse arc. So what it does is, since it can sense where the smart money is in these supply zones and demand zones are, and I also put the ATR code inside of it, so it knows the average range that each candle on whatever time frame you're on can move. And so it has noise filtering in and a bunch of things inside of it to help us to get in and out of trades. And so the confirmation works like this: we're looking for a candle to open, like for puts, we want a candle to open under it with the wick and the body of the candle not touching this green line. And then it'll arc over it and come down. Now, the reason why I built this other part of the moving average is because with options, it's all about timing. So we don't want to get into puts here just because we got an open and close candle. It pushed down and it shot back up and then it ended up dropping, right? But these are daily candles. So we want to kind of enter into a trade and then get the timing down. So what I did is so it's a thing called the MACD inside of trading. It has a signal line cross. And all that means is it's just an indicator that shows you when the momentum is shifting and when to enter the trade. Well, the way I built this moving average is it's a lot faster than a MACD, and it's like very, very accurate. So you can see now with this, with it, when the green line crosses under this red signal line, that's our confirmation to enter. And you can see by once we get this crossover, it's timing when the actual volatility is right ready for us to drop. So now we can, so with options, since we have time decay, it's very important that we can actually time our entries correct. Just like here, you see how, let me get the circle tool. Here, when we did this crossover here, we crossed over at this candle here, right? That's our crossover. And then you see once we got that crossover, it timed our push up accurately to here, right? We also had a crossover right here. So that crossover was on this candle. And so we were able to enter into our puts. This green candle pushed up. And so it's two things that this thing does. Since it can sense the volume is and where the put volume is and which candles have high volume. It also does the same thing like a 12 EMA and the 200. It acts as really heavy resistance. Once it arcs above the candles, when they come back to either the signal line or the Wolftrend Moving Average, both of them act as resistance once it engulfs these candles. Once it gets in, arcs over them, it acts like an iron dome type of resistance on them. So you see how we got this open and close candle here, and we tried to push up and break it here, it rejected. Pushed up here, it rejected, and then we got the crossover and it rolled the stock down. And the same thing here, we look at it over here. We had a supply zone here. We got this candle to open and close under it. That it was the first part of the entry, and then we got the crossover. So this is the moving average that we use the buy and sell signals with. So the buy and sell signals partner with this wolf trend moving average. So here I have buy and sell signals integrated into the chart. But since we use multiple layers of confirmation, what you want to look at is so we got a sell signal here. And you see how after we got this sell signal, even though this sell signal was decent timing, that was at 464. We pushed up all the way to 483. So that's a $20 pop up after that sell signal, right? And so if we would have entered into here, there's a high chance that you probably would have got stopped out or panicked here, right? So even though it's letting us know that okay, we're possibly going down, this counter right here also pushed up to 490. Then we dropped, and so if you'd have had time in your country, you still would have got a good drop off of that sell signal. But look at this one though. We got a sell signal here. We got an actual crossover to time the entry for puts. Then we got an additional sell signal on this strong green candle. But this was also the candle that we should have entered our puts on. And so then we got a drop with good timing. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we utilize the full confirmation. So we don't want to just jump into puts just because we see a sell signal. We want to get, okay, this is going to help us to prepare to get into puts, but we wait on this crossover. We want to open and close candle and then this crossover for the full arc confirmation for puts.
So the buy and sell signal is saying get ready, it's about to cross over.
That's right.
Find your place, and then when you see the second confirmation of the crossover, that's when you should execute.
That's correct.
All right.
That's correct. And so, and another thing that these buy and sell signals do is say that we popped out of this demand zone here. We got the inverse arc. We got a crossover here, and say we would have entered into on this open and close candle right here because these candles are touching it. We got the crossover before the open and close candle, but after we got this, that would have been our confirmation to get into calls, right? So say we were pushing up, and then you start getting these sell signals printing. This is also will warn you to go ahead and start tightening your stop loss up because we're trying to get to this target, but you can start tightening your stop loss up because once you start getting these sell signals, that means that this up move is getting overbought.
Getting weak.
And yeah, that's correct.
Is there a way to set up an alert for when the buy and sell symbol pops up?
Yeah, so the better alert, it is a way to set an alert on here. So any kind of alert you want to set on a chart, you just right click on the on it and add alert to Wolf Levels Pro. And so then you can put it on resistance broke, downward trend, uptrend. But the alert that you want to set for this one right here, and since we're not going to buy on these triangles without getting the full confirmation, what you the where the money is seeing this alert happen. So the easiest way to do that is you want to click on where this wolf trend moving average is. So you see how my chart has this plus sign right now, but if I put my mouse on this wolf trend moving average, it gives me that pointing finger. So you right click on it and hit add alert to wolf chart by Shon-TheWolf. And then you come down here where it says internal bullish BOS or breaker structure. And then you just click on crossing right here. All right. So now this is going to give us a condition. The first part of the condition, we want to look for the wolf trend moving average with ATR influence. That's the green line. In the second part, you want to come to wolf chart by Shon-TheWolf again. And then this time you want to choose wolf chart, the wolf trend moving average smoothing line, which is that red signal line. So now on a daily time frame for Tesla, you can just set this to like once per minute and change your expiration date and just push it out, right, to like as far as you can push it. And now it's like, so for example, Tesla's is in a demand zone now. And so now, since I've already done my homework on Tesla, right, it's in the demand zone. It's trying to push up out of here. I got a buy signal already, and it pushed up for this little first bounce already today. Now, the Wolftrend Moving Average is coming down, but it hadn't crossed over and did a inverse arc confirmation yet. But since I have this alert set to tell me whenever the Wolftrend Moving Average crosses this signal line, whenever it comes down here and gives a full reversal, or a crossover on that line, it's going to send me an alert every time that happens on Tesla's daily time frame. So if I'd have had it on, for example, while Tesla was pushing up, soon as it crossed down like here, it would have sent me an alert, and I could have prepared for my put position and rolled this down. And then once it crossed over here, it would have sent me another alert. And so it'd be automatically sending you these alerts. And you can pick, whatever stocks you want to swing trade. And then this is pretty much all I do. You know what I'm saying? When I be pushing stuff in the scout call outs, when stuff is about to cross over and things like that, it's just with these, I put alerts on. I put alerts on my trend lines for that floating candle confirmation system. You can just right click, add alert to Wolf Levels Pro. And then I want to just see when a downward break happens. That's on this red trend line. And so now I would know anytime on the daily time frame when Tesla breaks that red trend line. And if I want to set alert on the upward trend line break, I can set that to upward break. So with both of the confirmation systems built inside the chart, it'll let you know as soon as the candle, that what this letter B means on this candle right here. This letter B means this candle broke the trend line. It's not a buy signal. It just means that this candle broke that trend line. So if you set an alert on these trend lines and on this Wolftrend Moving Average, you will be able to participate in both of the confirmation systems with just these alerts happening. Okay.
Like that.
Now it's going to be specific to whatever time frame that you set it on. Okay. So it's going to be specific to whatever time frame that you set it on. So this would be only watching Tesla on the daily time frame for swing trades, or if you did this on Apple, if you did this on Alibaba or Google, like Google selling off